As introduced at the beginning of the premiere episode, the Green Valley Line was, quote, a story of a small backcountry railroad in the early years of the 20th century, a story of the lives of small-town people in the America of 35 years ago, unquote. An exact dating of the series is uncertain. David Golden identifies 1938, while Jerry Haendiges claims 1934. Haendiges appears to be closer, as a 1935 article in the Broadcasting Trade magazine announced that San Francisco-based Audisk Corporation, a creator of radio serials, was developing a railroad serial called the Green Valley Line. Rhys Davies, a short story writer, Boer War and World War I veteran, and all-around adventurer, had turned to writing radio scripts later in his life. He should not be confused with the Welsh novelist of the same name, who wrote during the first half of the 20th century. Davies was credited with scripting The House of Doom, a mystery serial on Oakland's KROW in 1932, and Blair of the Mounties in 1936. Davies was identified as production manager for Audisk by 1935. The Green Valley Line related the story of an attempt of a large railroad, the CK&W, to come into quaint Morristown and buy their much smaller Green Valley Line. An initial 26 quarter-hour episodes were produced by Audisk Corporation circa 1935, before the transcription discs were sold to the Walter Biddick Company of Los Angeles. The sale also included Treasure of the Lorelei and Blair of the Mounties, and Audisk subsequently went out of business in October of 1936. By 1937, Boston-based Casper Gordon Studios Incorporated had partnered with Walter Biddick to distribute some of Biddick's series, including the Green Valley Line, in the Boston area. Other series in the deal were the aforementioned Treasure of the Lorelei and police thriller Honor the Law. That same year, station 3HA in Melbourne, Australia, bought the series from Walter Biddick to bring to their airwaves. Newspaper listings of the era have not identified widespread broadcasting of the series, with most known air spots in the Chicago area. Interestingly, even though the final episode, number 26, wraps up the series-long story, the recording ends with the announcer intoning, "Tune in for episode 27, the opening chapter in the second phase of the Green Valley Line." There is no evidence that a second set of transcriptions was ever produced. Other than Rhys Davies, David Golden identifies Roland Parker and John Todd as voices on the show, both of whom were appearing on The Lone Ranger in the mid-1930s. Other individuals associated with the Green Valley Line remain unknown.